Oh, well. Happy end of 2020, crafters. I gotta put my glasses down and I can't see them and I can't see nothing. Damn it. Plague child, bring in my glasses. Yes, but I require plague. Oh, I thought you loved me. Never mind. I have another pair. Stay in bed, old child of plagues. Oh. Hello, crafters. Big D here with this last Taco Tuesday of 2020. Thankfully, 2020 ends. It is not. It is at its end. Wow, 2020 has sucked. Oh my God. But we're not going to talk about everything that was bad because we did okay. Nobody in this household caught COVID. Nobody died in this household. Nobody in our direct family died. Nobody in our direct family caught COVID, as far as I know. We've had tacos every Tuesday for a year, and we're still hobbying. We're still modeling. We're still crafting. It could be worse. We still are employed. We are gainfully employed again. We were not for a bit, but we are now. We have been for almost 6 months now. We've painted a lot of models this year. So, yeah, it's all right. I don't mind it much. Tina Raven, good to see you. Of course, Commodore, I noticed you. I just didn't see you mentioning the phalanx, which is what I expect out of you. So, oh, wow. So, yeah, this is our kind of our 2020 in review and looking forward to 2021. Oh, start this already. Jeez. Oh, I'm so ready to be done with 2021. I'm already ready to go to sleep. Just be done. All right. Well, let's talk about what's on the bench. What's on the bench? I just finished 15 Terminators. 15 Plague Terminators. There we go. Much better. So I should say 13 Terminators, a regular Plague Marine with a flail, and a Contemptor Dreadnought, all for my Death Guard, all completed. So that was finished this week. Mr. Tesh, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. So I've got a few more Plaguey bits to do. And I've got more I could build, but I mean, technically I have about another 10 or 15 figures primed, and I've started painting mainly just Plague Marines, a couple extra, a couple of, what do you call them, Poxwalkers that were left in a box that I forgot about. I did 29 of them. I still have a few more that I found after I cleaned out the box and finished all of them. So it's good. I think I'm done with finishing any. I think I have one figure that is mostly done that I'm going to be able to finish before the year is technically out. So I think we're done for the year 2020 with completing figures. I think we're going to get one more done, and we're going to be it. So we'll be able to put together a video over New Year's, figuring out exactly how many we've done, get them all up on the table. Get a nice glamour shot, swing in shot of all of them, and get a final tally for the year that was 2020. But what else do we have on the bench? Well, we have the very next project we need to work on. This is actually the very first project I have to hit up next. I've got my Orcish Blood Bowl team. So I need to get them built and get them going because I got a league starting up in just a couple weeks. So I got to get these bad boys built and painted and ready to go. And I still haven't even decided on a paint scheme for them. So I don't know, guys. What do you guys think for paint scheme? I want to do an Orcs. I haven't even decided on a name for them yet. They're the unnamed Orcish football team. I have nothing on them. I've decided on a paint scheme for my Necrons. But again, I'm not touching my Necrons until I get my Orcs all done and the rest of my Plague stuff that I've got built done. And then, yeah, I mean, that's what's on. And then, yeah, we were talking about it last week. We were talking about what we're planning for the year. Somebody gave my wife a wonderful idea. And so Lady D is going to be getting a little calendar book so that we can plan out all of our weeks this year and any specific topics we want to cover. So we're going to try and do a resolution for that. You know, close thing to a resolution that I believe in that planning. I think it's a good idea. Make it help. Couldn't hurt. Could potentially help. So it's worth doing. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I okay? I know the desk is an absolute disaster right now. I've been trying to crank through all of these figures as quickly as I could. I want to get them done, and I'm loving the way they're looking. I may have found an alternate to actually doing Agrax Earthshade. At least using it pure. Agrax Earthshade is a bit dark, and I think I may have found a Meister Mueller. How are you, sir? So we might be trying a different. I might do some paint tests, some texture tests with this variant that I'm doing. I'm finding out that it gets good coverage and gets on my recesses, but it doesn't shade the main color as much, and I'm liking that look. So, doing different things with color. I also picked up for the first time a pot of Val Gorbath I think it's Val Gorbath Red. Because I wanted to do my cloaks and clothy bits on my Terminators in like a maroony type red, like the ones you see in the box art. But I didn't want to look at the box and say, what is this color? I kind of wanted to go, well, this looks about right, and pick that out. You guys know me, I'm a little nonconformist. So I got this Gal Vorbath Red, and I gotta say, wow, what a pretty color. What a really pretty color. It's just this rich, lighter burgundy that takes shade well. You do highlights on it with like corn red. So, I mean, if you know how dark corn red is, it's actually the color for the highlights for that thing. So it was pretty neat. I did some cloaks and some... Oh, that's bloody guts guy. What do we got? With the cloak. Got the cloak. Here we go. So I started off with that Val Gorbath red, and then highlight in corn red, and then washed it in my Agrax mix, and then gave it a gloss coat. And now it's like a wet dirty looking reddish cloth. It looks great. It looks really good. I got to put some more goo on here. His goo is missing off his feet because, you can't be a good plague marine without a bunch of gooey gunk on your feet. That's just the way it's got to be. So I got to put some slop on him. Man, I love me some Nurgle. So yeah, that's the big thing. Like I said, doing all these Terminators, trying to get ready for my Codex, which is supposed to drop second week-ish of January. It's like mid-month it should be dropping. I'm super curious as what we're going to get for our combat patrol box. I don't know that I'm going to need a combat patrol box. By building all this stuff I didn't remember that I had, I now have like 60 plus Plague Marines, plus I have bits to build like another 20 or 25 Plague Marines. I'm well over 120. I'm well over 100 Poxwalkers at this point, so I don't think I'm going to need any more Poxwalkers. I kind of want to get the new figure, and that's about all I really, really, really want. Maybe a third Plague Burst Crawler, but that's about it. So I see we've got up to 8 people in chat. Hey, that's awesome. Hello, everybody that's coming in here. Space Marine Hunter, good to see you. Look, we got a lot of things here. If you guys could hit me with a like, just let people know that if I'm entertaining, lets YouTube get me in the mix and lets people see me a little easier because it shows that I'm actually producing some decent content. So yeah, I've got the Plague Marine to do. I'm really actually looking forward to getting to these Blood Bowl orcs, the sculpts. The sculpts look really... Let me get that shiny crap off there. Hang on. So you guys can actually see it without the glare. But those sculpts look pretty cool, I gotta say. So... And I actually picked up... Can't see. Can't you see? There we go. And then along with this, I have a single sprue from the brand new Season 2 box coming, so I can fill out the rest of the team. So I'll actually have 16 figures for the team, which will be really great. So I'll have a couple goblins that I can throw in if I want, or just pure orcs, an extra couple of black orc blockers, which is something I want to rely on. I kind of want to make my team kind of a really get in there and just hold the line kind of thing. Oh, quiet you. Lady D is not here in studio today because she is in bed. She's a sick girl. She's having the vapors. She's severely dehydrated. They don't think she has a UTI, but she's very dehydrated, and she's dizzy. So we've got her in bed. Oh, you're not sick anymore. You're just dizzy. She's got the vapors. Yeah, the Orkland Raiders, oh, that's an original team name. I mean, like, that would be like doing the Orkland Raiders or the Gouged Eye. Those are actually two regular teams. I'm actually thinking about, I mean, if I do anything, if I want to, I don't want to make it a punny name. I thought about that. I don't want to do it as a punny name. I don't know. I haven't even thought about, they're going to be, I think they're just going to be Weeze the Orcs, Shut Up, Die. They're not going to be from Green Bay. No, I'm not doing that. I'm thinking about calling them something like a pick a town out of the old world and call them the Green Tide. Kind of like, what is it, the Carolina Crimson Tide? Like is it somewhere in Carolina or the Alabama or there's the Crimson Tide. I think I'm going to call them the Green Tide. And that way I can just paint them green, two shade them in green and just be done with them. I don't know. I got to find a color I want to do them in. Green skins and green tide. How is that? How is green skins cool, but green tide is not? I mean, no pleasing you people. There is no such thing as the Washington Redskins. I don't know what you're talking about. The Redskins aren't. There's no team. Call their team. I'm not calling them the Greenskins. That's racist. That's racist. And it's not set in the real world. It's set in the fantasy world. Oh, my God. You people. I'm not playing doors. Greg, though, you're playing doors. Yeah. Well, hello there, Kaiser. You lovely man. That's not racism. The town can barely tell each other apart. They're blue and all their guns look the same. Look, I have a box with a line and a ring on it. They all look the same. Oh. So, yeah, either way, like I said, I'm going to be building these guys and figuring out a paint scheme. I haven't even thought about a paint scheme for them yet. So, but I got to get them built up quick because, our first game, I think it's in 2 weeks. So, well, and that's the thing. I could call them the Green Tide. The thing is, the reason the Green Tide is because there's a stratagem in 40K called the Unending Green Tide. So that's why I would call them the Green Tide. That's kind of a joke. Maybe I'll just call them the Emerald Aegeus. That would be cool. No. I don't know. I got to first figure out what color I want to paint them. They're going to be green skins. I don't know what color I'm going to do the armor. I'm thinking I'm going to do them in like 4 shades of like I could do them as freebooters. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't even figured out a color scheme for them yet. I gotta get them built and look at them. I have not even figured a color scheme for them. So, and because I'm doing it as a sports team, I have to find 2 really obnoxious colors and put them with each other. Is your undead? That's the thing. Let's see. Commodore's got an undead team in the same league. Greg's got a dwarven team in the same league. Are your guys' built and painted yet? Do you even have your team in hand yet? Do you have them yet? Because we're playing in 2 weeks. So We'll come up with a. You know what? I'll half built. I've got bases. That's a people's count, right? Oh yeah. So. Oh, and Tina's doing Wood Elves. That's right. Tina's in there too. I forgot Tina's in there. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a cool league. Nobody's got no duplicate races, so it's gonna be. And you don't have a name for him yet either. See, it's the thing. If I was doing like. I mean, if I was doing a throwing team, I would probably pull up one of my old names. I had a really great team way back in the early 90s. The last time I played Blood Bowl on a regular basis. I had a team, and we were the North American Blood Bowl Association. So we all took North American city names. So I was the Paducah Cyclones, based out of Paducah, Kentucky. And white uniforms with some red and blue on them. A Dwarven and Halfling team. They were hilarious. A Dwarven team that threw the ball a lot, which was not typical for Dwarven teams. And then my other was my undead team that I had for a season, and then the Boot Hill Death Jesters. So, yeah, I mean, I come up with something for them. I picked Orcs because they're a nice default team. I don't really care what I play, so I went with Orcs because they were easy. I kind of wanted to do the Ogre team, but it wasn't going to be enough time to get them together. I didn't think so. I didn't know how well they'd play. So yeah, the bench is busy. Lots of stuff going on the bench. I will have no shortage of things to do. Between the Death Guard getting the refresh in a couple of weeks, I have an entire Slaneshi army to finish building and painting. I need to finish painting what I have built, and then I can build the other half of the army. I have a box game I still want to pick up. Oh my God, Kaiser. I'm telling you, if I get into a good costume and we do me dancing in a K-pop video, it's real easy because I will probably try and find a male version of Evelyn, and I'll do the dance that she does from More. How about that? If you want to know what that looks like, look up KDA, the letter K, letter D, letter A, KDA More. And I just got to get some nice finger claws so I can do the whole that she does. So, because she's the best. I just need big like Hollywood sunglasses and finger claws, and I'll be awesome. And she just does, it's awesome. And that's probably as good as you're going to get out of me. All right. So that's what's on the bench. Let's talk about what's in the news. So the Orc Dude came out last weekend. My local store, he sold out pretty much right away. He's a single boy. He's a single boy with a ammo grot. I was going to pick one up. By the time I got to the store, he was sold out. So they're supposed to be on sale this week. I wanted to get him because he's cool, but he's just a boy. So it's like, I want him because he's cool. I know a lot of people are talking about converting him. Well, I got to buy this figure. I got to convert him. He's there as a collector's edition, guys. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting him. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting him, especially if you're a big Orc player. To have a guy that looks like that, that's awesome. But, it's just a guy. So he's got a choppa and a pistol. So he's shooter and choppa. If you want to play him as a war boss, you can. Nothing going to keep you from doing that. I had a conversation with a friend of mine about this week because, he was like, well, you don't want to, it's just a dude, but I mean, there's people that collect these figures just because they look cool. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, she basically overworked herself and dehydrated herself. So she basically ran herself ragged over the holidays, and she's on bed rest so she can actually get some rest. She's not really ill. She's not like sick, but she is. Her batteries are run way the hell down. Martha, unsubscribe and resubscribe and ring the bell. You'll be fine. Everybody I've heard that did that has had wonderful effects from that. So, the problem about winter in Wisconsin, it is super easy to get dehydrated super quick. I have gone through so much water and so much Gatorade and so much ice water, and wow, I just well, I mean, no, it's 7:30 on a Tuesday. What do you want me to do? Do you need me to hold your hand for you, Heinrich? Because I can come hold your hand. Oh. Let me see here. So yeah, the guy's out. You can get him now. You can order him on their site. That's pretty cool. No real big releases coming on right now. Obviously, with the new year, they're not going to have. There's it's the week of New Year's, not a lot going on. They have hinted at a few things. Apparently there's a whole bunch of FAQs coming down real soon. So wonder how that's gonna work out. Gonna have a bunch of FAQs coming down. Trying to clarify some stuff. I mean, we got the one FAQ on the stuff that came down from the Forge World Armory, which is why I'm happy. I immediately was able to finish up my Contemptor Dread because I went strictly by the rules. All right. There we go. Better. I have this guy in a Leviathan Dread. And it was like, you're not going to be able to use them for your Death Guard. It's like, hang the hell on. But they did FAQ that. But they did say there was some talk in the community site. There's a bunch of FAQs coming down really soon. So something to look forward to. New rules or clarifications in rules. Which I guess is always good. I mean, you want to be able to play stuff and play stuff right. So for 2021, Necrons are going to be my new army. Kick off the year doing some Necron terrain, showing some easy ways to do some cool Necron themed terrain. No, COVID is no freaking joke. Yeah. Savings to get a new car. Yeah, our lovely Saturn is finally showing its age and the amount of money it's going to take to get it. It's working, for now, but I can't really count on it super much. So we're going to have to replace the old girl, or the old boy, whatever you want to call it. Try and get a new car. It should be an issue. It's just a matter of working it into the budget, and that's a few other things that are going to have to get cut back, which is okay. I mean, we're doing okay, so we'll be able to get a new car. It just sucks. Ben's going to do Eldar for the new year. That's excellent. I'm going to be doing Necrons. Lady D is doing Daughters of Cain. So it's cool. It's very cool. I like the idea of people picking up a new army, new year. I like people stretching their hobby legs and trying new things out. So it expands the hobby. And I think the other thing is that, I mean, we started up that new game. We just started playing. The Underworlds, they got a new box set coming out for that, or came out for that. I want to pick that up as soon as possible. I want to get that up as soon as possible, get them bad boys painted up, and start playing some more of that. Get Lady D, sit down and teach her how to play so we can start playing that. That'll be cool, too. Yeah, you're doing your Space Marines, your hippos, your space hippos, which is hilarious, and at the same time, damn dangerous, because people don't realize how dangerous hippos are. So you got space hippos to go with the space sharks. And I'm the skulls. We're just skulls. Oh, come on, Kaiser. You just drink some strong tea. You'll be fine. Seriously, this old brain can pick up Underworlds. You can pick up Underworlds. It's fast-paced. It's easy. It's 5 figures. They're moving like a couple spaces. They're shooting. It's not even as complicated as Kill Team. It's fine. And there's no measuring. I mean, there's no rulers. They've taken it out. It's just boxes. How many hexes? So, you're fine. But like I said, I painted up some of the terrain for it. We got a couple sets. My local store actually has a bunch of the spare boards. Like there's a bunch of different board packs. So we're gonna put a couple extra boards just so we can have some fun with different boards in the game. Yeah, it really is just the weird dice. I mean, the dice are kind of weird. That's why I didn't want to get specialty dice from Ella. I know every team you can buy dice that match the figures. I'm like, no. That's going to confuse me. I want the dice to come in a box and everybody use the same dice so I don't get confused on that. Because they're different colored dice. And just like, now that'll break my brain. It's like, oh, which color dice do I use for you? What the? Stop it. Stop it. But I like Underworlds. I like the figures. I like the fact that it gives you a taste for an army. It's a taste for a different scheme. You can paint them as a completely different scheme. Doesn't matter. I mean, I did my Night Haunt in a scheme that if I ever were to do Night Haunt, I could easily do my entire army in that scheme. And I could probably paint like 5,000 points of Night Haunt in like a weekend. That's how simple it was to paint that scheme. So that was a definite goal for me, and it worked out really well. So, and it looked good. That was the important part. It looked real good. So, although if I think if I painted a Nagash in that same scheme, I would have somebody come over a table and try to kill me for doing a big old gorgeous figure like that in just a ghostly washdown with. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Taizo. You pick an army that's easy to build and play with. You only need like 3 figures for it. Pig Knights. Just do Chaos Knights. Just have gigantic. Yeah. Now you are coming back to us, though, right? You're only moving away for a little while to help get your friend in place. Then you're coming back to us, correct? This is not. There are Chaos Knights. Have you not seen my Chaos Knight? I'm gonna show this thing off again. I show this off like every 2 weeks. See? It's my Nurgle Knight. He's got his bells. He's got his bells, and he's got little fleshy bits. And on the back of his power supply, he's got an extra eye so he can see you and you can't sneak up on him. But his base is still my same old slimy and bubbles and wormies. And extra chaotic bits. And I love, this was printed off, but I love this torso piece where the torso armor placed with a big extra mouth. Just blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Knights are awesome. They look great. They're just... Everything needs more mouths. I actually picked up an extra pack of eyes. Midwinter Minis did a thing where they did a bunch of plague bearers and they covered over the faces so they have no eye holes, but then they put eyes in the middle of their bellies. And I thought that looked cool, but I don't want to do plague bearers. So I've actually got some different ideas of what I'm doing with all these extra eyes. And this was like a couple bucks. So I got a big bag of eyeballs to just stick on stuff. I think I already used the first one on my base here, where there's an eye looking out of the ground at you in my filth walker here. So, yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what this hobby is. This year. This is not still going to not be the same year as it was last year, but this is not going to be what the year was in 2019 either. I mean, we're still going to see a lot of social distancing. We're not going to see regular, straight up, hey, we're back in the full blown play. The first 6 months of this year is still going to be slow and restrained and blocked off, and we've all got to recognize that. A lot of planning. This is the time of year to just put together some paint schemes, get some models, do some painting, build some terrain, plan some terrain. So, yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, this first month, I've got 2 terrain videos I've got planned out. I'm going to be doing, I think both of them are going to end up being just on Necron terrain, because I got 2 ideas for how to do some Necron terrain, how to do some ruins, and how to do some other cool stuff. And then into February, we'll get to finishing off that Imperial Fortress. I want to do a lot more terrain this year. I want to do some Necromunda terrain. I want to do some regular Warcry terrain and some AOS terrain. I want to show some different kinds of terrain, some different flavors of terrain. I also have some base ideas I want to do, since my Necrons are going to be on woodlands, like deep forest, deep lush green forest and ferns, like Pacific Northwest type, like Endor, Endor type bases. So I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to do those kind of bases, which will involve a lot of like natural materials as well, and coffee grounds. But yeah, I think this upcoming year is going to be a little different. It's not going to be as bad it's not going to be as bad as 2020 was, but 2021 is going to come off with a rough start. We're still going to see a lot of delays. I mean, GW is committed to trying and get out all of the new codexes this year, this 2021. I've even heard they want to try and go as aggressive to try and have them all out by the summer cycle. We'll see. I think 2 a month is good, but they're already pushing because I think they're going to have to do 3 in January just because they got to make up for the one they didn't get in December with my Death Guard. But if they do, they're going to push something back. They've already shown the next battle box. It's going to be Sisters and Drukhari. It's looking like me and Commodore, or I should say, it's looking like Lady D and Phoenix are going to be splitting that box. Very specifically. It's a good box. It's actually a pretty good box for starting off for Drukhari. It's a good starter for the Sisters of Battle. You'd still want to pick up a set of Battle Sisters so you can do a patrol detachment. But it's got that big old tank in it, and I like the tank. I mean, I'm not a Sisters player, so I don't know how good the tank is, but I mean, I love the look of that tank with its big stained glass window armor plating. That just looks cool to me. It's funny. I, as a player, have no desire to play Sisters of Battle. I did for a while, but then I'm just like, nah, they're just not my style. But I love the aesthetics of the army. I just absolutely adore the aesthetics. So, but to me, again, this is just me guessing. This is not me saying, I know this. This is me just guessing. They're releasing a box set in February that's going to be Drukhari and Sisters of Battle. Yes, those are the nun-looking, the battle nuns. Yeah, the angry nuns with guns. Their battle box is coming out in February. The Drukhari box, the Drukhari Codex is supposed to come out in late January. But that might get pushed back to early February because of the Death Guard push. So that kind of tells me, honestly, I'm thinking to go along with that. I'm thinking the Sisters are going to be getting their new codex around the same time. I think they're going to be getting I honestly think they're going to get their new codex in February to go alongside. Unfortunately, Tina, I've already committed to Commodore to splitting that box. As far as I know, unless Commodore and Phoenix decide that they aren't going to get that box, then we'd be happy to split with you. But I'd already talked to Commodore. Because we budget our hobby money, it's one of those things that, we really don't need the Sisters, so we're going to have to swap that. And the problem is that the stuff that's going to be in that box is pretty cool, but mainly we're getting it for the Lilith figure. Most of the rest of that stuff, yeah, we're seeing you, Dark Tidings. They're not that different from a Start Collecting box. So, and yeah, they are combining. Check your spacebar. They're basically, it's not that much different than a Start Collecting box. And to be honest, Lady D's already gotten 3 Start Collecting boxes. So, I don't know if we're going to need another one. But we want the box because it's got a couple. It has the Scourges, and she can always use more Venoms, and she loves witches. So it's a good box. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great box for the Dark Eldar. It looks really great. I like the new look for Lilith. I liked her old pose better though. But it's not my figure. It's Lady D's going to be one playing it. My own thing is that they did the same thing with a lot of characters. They have characters that are leaping. Yeah, Back Templar Sister Inquisition would be a pretty army. Yeah, it would be pretty cool. I would not disagree with you on that one. They just have a lot of characters that are just touching off on something. So she's just leaping. And I was looking at it. It's a base that's all fancy. And basically it's just got her toes touching the rock, whatever she's jumping off of. So just like Ragnar, who is just jumping off a rock, and one of the new assassins that's jumping off of something. Yes, because they're all Imperium. You could totally combine them like that. Absolutely. As long as they're all, they're all Imperium, so they would combine them just fine like that. I wouldn't want to. Not just speaking of Sisters of Battle, because I don't see me ever. Yeah, the 41st Millennium, they're only jumping. Yeah, Dark Tiding. Yeah, you could totally put them into one list. Your biggest thing is you're going to run out of points. I mean, Marines are expensive. Inquisition are a very small army, but you can stick an Inquisitor in any Imperium army and not worry about breaking up your bonuses or anything. There's actually a function for the Inquisition where you can stick a Inquisitor in an army, and it doesn't mess with anything. So you can, you build a Sisters list, and you spend 1,000 points on Sisters and 1,000 points on Marines, and then, or just take a few less of each. Then you spend like 100 points and you stick an Inquisitor in there, or are good. Sisters are very good. So I will never speak ill of the Sisters. They are a good army. They look good. They have a good aesthetic. They play well. They're not my style of army. There's a lot of extra rules to them, and they're really fiddly, and they're not my bag. Inquisition. The individual agents of the Inquisition are really good. Like, I'm a big fan of Greyfax, Inquisitor Greyfax. I'm also a big fan of Cortez and Eisenhorn. I mean, any one of those three, I'd be happy to take in an army if I had the points to spare. They're great single figures that you can stick in there, and you can only stick one of them in an army. Until they get an Inquisition gets a book, I don't know if there's a way you can put multiple Inquisitors in an army as of yet. And Black Templars are Marines. So Marines are good, period. I mean, Marines they're the poster boys. So yeah, they're good. Inquisitor Candlehead, yeah. I absolutely love Greyfax. I love her aesthetics. I love the way she looks. Um, I kind of I kind of had an idea for it, but I let it go because Lady D actually showed some interest in doing it. Lady D wants to do a Inquisition-centric Imperial Guard, just maybe like a small unit, like maybe 1,000 points. But she basically wants to do Tempestus Scions and Torox Primes and an Inquisitor leading them, and a couple of Commissars, just very specific Inquisition. And if you like the Inquisition, I mean, you could do Black Templars. The other one you could do is you could do Death Watch. I mean, Death Watch are an arm of the Inquisition, so they're pretty good too. So I mean, there's and they look great. Death Watch are fantastic looking models. I love their shoulder pads. I love their shields. I want actually a couple more of their shields. I'm doing a unit of guys, and I don't care if they're not. I don't care that they're not specifically Death Watch. I love their shields. So I want to get 2 more shields because I want to have a unit of guys that are all carrying shields. Yeah, when the Eisner TV show drops, I would expect the same. I would probably expect them to finally give them something. I mean, because that's the whole problem. They've been out of the index, like the entirety of 8th edition. They were in the index. A couple of them got updates in like a couple of White Dwarves there, but they haven't actually had a codex or even a codex supplement type thing pumped out in a couple editions now. So a lot of them, there's no stats on how to play them. But a lot of the individual Inquisitors are just really good. I mean, Greyfax is, wow, she is just a really potent psyker. And they have that brand new Inquisitor. I don't know her name. Inquisitor, I Have a Dragon. If anybody can remember her name, she was the new Inquisitor they put in Pariah. She's Inquisitor, bald head with a dragon on her arm. Really great looking model. Another just gorgeous looking model. I believe she's Order Xenos, because she's carrying like, I want to say she's carrying like a Necron blade and a Eldar gun. The Blood Angels from the Indominus box. See, now here's the funny thing. I don't know that specifically I would use one with the Blood Angels, because the Blood Angels are such a complete all-around army. I mean, the Blood Angels are just an all-around great army. I'm not even a fan of Blood Angels. They're not like my thing. I mean, they're cool looking, but I'm a Space Wolves guy. But I mean, the Blood Angels are such a good all-around army. They've got a really good named psyker, and they've got a really good psyker discipline. They have the Chaplain Dreadnoughts. They've got the really angry Dreadnoughts. They've got their Death Company. I don't know that I would need an Inquisitor. I don't know that you would need an Inquisitor with them, but I mean, it's all about what you want to do. The different Inquisitors are different from each other. They do very different things. Eisenhorn is a dude that stops psychers dead and brings a freaking a witch demon thing with him. Greyfax is a really good psyker and has these crossbow bolters that she walks around with. Inquisitor Karamazov is a freaking dreadnought without being a dreadnought. He's basically got a walking pulpit. He's basically got a combat pulpit. Lord Inquisitor Kyria Draxus. I don't even know what she does. I just know she has a dragon. I know she's got like a Xenophase blade, and she's got like an Eldar blast weapon, and then she's got a dragon she can shoot off of people. It's one of the reasons I like Cortez. He's got the same kind of deal, except he's got a cyber falcon that he can throw at people. So it's all about with the Inquisitors. If you really want an Inquisitor in your army, just pick one that looks cool, because they're all just cool figures. I like Karamazov for stupid reasons. I'm a big fan of text-to-speech, and Karamazov's a big character in the text-to-speech show. So I think he's hilarious. I think the way that they've written him is hilarious. So I'd have a hard time playing him and not talking like this when he is doing his thing and his guy with the sandpaper cigarettes. And it's just, to me, it's funny. So... and if I had points to spare in my freaking Custodes army, I'd probably get them to go with them just for the gag value. But Custodes are so point tight. I mean, I'd only be able to run that as a gag unit. Although there's part of me that kind of wants to do that. Kind of wants to get some Sisters of Silence, run 3 squads of Sisters of Silence and Karamazov and an assassin, and then just whatever I can fit in there from Custodes, and just be stupid with it, because it'd be just funny. Or spend the points and spend a bunch of points ahead of time with like an Imperial Guard army, and get like 4 or 5 patrol detachments. Do a 2,000-point army, but do all patrol detachments and buy individual named Inquisitors for each detachment. Yeah, Librarian Dreads too. That's the thing. Blood Angels are just nasty. They're just nasty, nasty, nasty. And the thing is, if I can't use it with my Space Wolves, because Space Wolves hate the Inquisition. They're like, no. Now, if you were playing Black Templars, I can definitely tell you I would want to get Eisenhorn as my very first one. And if I got a second detachment, I would get Greyfax to go in there, because Black Templars don't have Psychers. They don't have Librarians. And each of those 2 Inquisitors is a very powerful Psyker. So the Black Templars look at them all with around more than anything else. Looks like we're kind of all right. We're back. The big thing, I don't say it enough, I think, because we go on about the viability or how good this unit is or how bad this unit is and why you would take this or why you wouldn't take that. But one of the things I actually had somebody mention it to me, and I think it's something I want to try and encourage more. I think people should be more open, unless you're actively playing tournament quality players and playing tournament quality armies. I think people should more focus on what looks cool. What do I have that looks cool? What model I think would help Blood Angels the most? Do you have Mephiston? Because if you don't have Mephiston, get Mephiston. If you don't have Dante, get Dante. Get some of their named characters. Because, named characters are almost always better than the average, honestly, for the Space Wolves, Ragnar is just such a beast. You want Ragnar. If you're playing Space Wolves, you really want Ragnar. I want a Logan Grimnar. I think he's a great looking figure and he's a lot of fun to play. The Sanguinar, for the Blood Angels, and that's the thing. And that's what I was trying to say. It's like if you're playing tournament level games and you're playing tournament level players and you're trying to build a tournament level list, then I would look at what other people that are playing at that tournament or that tournament list with your guys. If you're just trying to build an army that looks cool, I think you should get what looks the best for your army. What looks the best. Now you're playing Blood Angels, so Blood Angels are lots of mobility. So you want jump packs, jet packs, melee weapons, lots of pounding on things. So yeah, you might want Inceptors, you might want assault troops, you might want Dante's a beast. Mephiston, beast. Dreads for them. A lot of their melee dreads. What is the Ironclad Dreadnought? The Ironclad Dreadnought is a beast. Okay, so here's the thing with resin. Is resin harder to work with? Not really. The thing to remember about resin is that resin, you don't use plastic glue, you use super glue. So when you get the figure, you got to scrub it, use some Dawn and some warm water, not hot water, warm water, and scrub it all to make sure there's no mold release on there. You clip it, you file it, you sand it the same way. You glue it with super glue. Make sure you have a little bit of super glue kicker, and you put it together. Other than that, it's the same thing. After that, it's the same stuff. The reason people complain about resin is, well, there's a lot of reasons people complain about resin. Resin doesn't use plastic glue, it needs super glue. Super glue can be messy if you're not used to working with it. This helps a lot because you only need to dab a little super glue on and then dab a little bit of this on and boom, it's done. Part of the reason is that specifically resin uses a lot more supports to make sure that everything gets filled in. So you're going to be doing a lot more cleaning. You're going to do a lot more flash lines and mold lines and scraping and sanding than you would with a plastic, like a brand new plastic model, because it needs more supports to make sure everything gets its edges in. The other thing about fine cast, which is what the character stuff that Games Workshop sells. They sell stuff in fine cast. Fine cast has issues. It's got bubbling issues. So you may need to use some filler. You may need to use a little bit of putty or something to fill really bad bubbles. You might not have to. I got this guy. He is resin. He is 100% resin. He is a GW resin model. I added wings to him. I modded the figure by adding wings to him, but he is just a resin model. And I had no problems putting together. He was 1, 2, 3, put together and done. I 3D print, and everything I 3D print is resin. That's resin that gets printed. And I have no problems with it. I have entire armies that are 100% resin. So resin is different. I wouldn't say it's harder. It's just different. You have to remember you're working with a different model. Do you paint them normally? Absolutely. You prime them and then paint like normal. Doesn't change anything about them. The big thing is that you want to scrub them down with like a Dawn or some sort of anti-grease dish soap ahead of time, because if they were resin and they were in a mold, they have something called mold release on it, which is a kind of an oily substance, and it may make the primer not stick very well. But then once they're put together, you paint them like a normal figure. And that's the thing to realize, is that there are entire companies out there, like really nice, beautiful detail. Resin can get you really, really gorgeous detail. And there are companies out there that are 100% resin, and nobody complains about them because it's not fine cast. Fine cast, there's issues with fine cast, but like everything from Forge World is resin. If you've ever looked at Creature Caster which has absolutely stunning models. That's 100% resin. Everything from there's some dark, I forget the name of the company, but they have it's a really expensive game model. The models are all like there's all these cheesecake models with it. They're expensive. And I mean, they're expensive, like $25, but they're 100% resin. Anything from Cromlech or Spellcrow, a lot of bits, add-on bits are resin. Resin is not bad to work with. You just got to remember it's not plastic. So if it's got long spindly bits in warm weather, they can warp. Resin is more brittle, so if it's got longer, sticky out bits, they can snap off. So you may have to replace pieces that snap off. It happens. They're not plastic. They don't bend as well. They can wilt or they can snap. So thing to remember. But resin's fine. I mean, this guy here, this is all painted using regular techniques. All the add-on bits, those plates on the front of the legs, the bells, the little things on the knees, the Nurgle shoulder pads, the Nurgle head, the Nurgle torso, the Nurgle shield pit here, that's all resin. That's all resin. And I mean, it looks just like a regular model. So, well, here's the thing. I have a resin keeper of secrets, and you'll notice her staff normally has a spearhead like this long on it. That snapped off. It got wonky, it's bendy, and it got snapped off. So what I'm doing, and what I looked up when I'm seeing the problems with staves, drill them out, drill right through the hand, pull the staff out. Keep the head of the staff, or the head of the spear, whatever it is, so you can glue it on there. But you can go to like a normal hobby shop, and you can get metal dowels, like very small diameter brass rod. That's what they call it, brass rod. And just find a brass rod in the same diameter as the spear. I would just drill it out, replace it with a brass rod. You can saw a brass rod or clip it with a pair of heavy-duty cutters, sand it so it's nice smooth, and just replace the tips with what's on the staff, and you're good to go. You just reprime the primer, sticks to brass the same way it does to it, and now you don't going to have it all bendy. Be nice and firm. So that's what I'm going to do with hers. I'm just going to get a piece of rod, drill her out, and replace it with a brass rod, and be done with it. Drippy. That's nice and drippy. So I guess it comes down to, what are you guys looking forward to in the new year? I'm looking forward to new models. I'm looking forward to new codexes, armies playing differently. So what are you guys looking forward to? What are you hoping to see in this next year? What are you looking for 2021 to do for you? Oh, that's the other thing, because I would point out the other thing that I've got going on in 2021 is right here. Blink, blink. Hit the beach. I'm going to be doing some World War II and Gaslands. I'm going to be done pretty close, same scale. I'm going to be doing some definite World War II wargaming, and I want to get into Gaslands. Growth and lessons. We're talking about the hobby, Taizo. Talking about the hobby. I'm going to grow. Get some painting lessons. There we go. Get some sculpting lessons. Sculpt your own minis. I mean, here we go, Tyson. This is the universal modeling agent that you need. This is what you need. The ever so famous sprue goo. Pull this stuff out, mold your own models from it. Sprue goo. I'm actually be pulling out some of my silicone molds, and using that sprue goo to cast some stuff, so I can build some terrain out of plastic rather than plaster. Like my buddy Commodore. You got a ton of your Imperial Fists, and you've got a really nice Knight Army. You've got your Corn Army for Age of Sigmar. What are you going to do this year? Are you going to just focus on expanding what you got, or are you going to get into a new army this year? I know you got into Corn late in 2020, so I didn't know if you'd actually be getting a new army this year. But I figured worth asking. We're going to get Taizo doing Knights. We got to get Greg doing some Imperial stuff. We got to get Greg in there repping some Imperial goodness. Let me get him to do some guard. People for his Necrons to just myrtleize. Yeah, and I gotta say, Warmutt, with the Gaslands, I got a whole bunch of. I'm headed to a Goodwill this weekend, because almost always this is the weekend when a lot of the toys go back out. That they're trying to get rid of as many as possible. I want to get a couple of Matchbox play sets so I can convert them to terrain for Gaslands. That's I know the other thing I really want to do is I actually want to, and there's a couple companies that make them. Hey, Al, good to see you. Thanks for joining us this evening. Concentrate on building. All right, that's cool. Any specific kits you're going to be working on big time? Because I'll be honest, one of my big things is I want to try and get into, finally, now that I got some time, I want to get into some of these jets you sent me. Yeah, you got a lot of Necrons built and not a lot of painting. We gotta get you painting, man. I think we're just gonna buy you a can of lead belcher. Yeah, I know the other big thing I'm looking forward to. He keeps poking his head up at me. Are you gonna build me soon? Are you gonna build me soon? Are you gonna build me soon? I want to get some other units built before I get into him. But I really want to get into that Silent King. I really want to get into that Silent King. What kind of paintbrushes do I use? I can even show you. These are the fancy brushes I use, and this is the non-fancies. All right, so, all right. That's a great way to look at it, Greg. For when I'm doing fancier work, cool. When I'm doing, fancier work, I have a set of Winsor Newton's Coleman brushes. I can get them from where my wife works at Michael's. So I can get a Cotman, Winsor Newton Cotman brushes. These are really good for, I use them for my detail. And for my general work, I get Royal Langenkel. Now, the Royal Langenkel, their easiest way to get them is I go to Walmart. They have them in there. They're either acrylic or they're watercolor brush packs. They're $5. There's 12 brushes in the pack. I buy a pack of those. When they get bad, I try and clean them. And if I can't clean them anymore, I chuck them in the garbage and go buy another box, buy another pack for $5. Oh, that's true. You got custodians to work on too. So you actually got quite a bit of you got a kind of a backlog there working right now. That's awesome to see. We should, get some custodies dual action going on. Hit my custodies and your custodies and take on a couple of Necron players and show them Robo Boys what's for. Some other, heretical army. Because I'm a fan of custodies. M1. Let me see here. Hang on. No, I don't use Citadel brushes. They're too expensive, in my opinion. For what you get, they're average quality brushes, and they're too expensive. M1070 HET with an M1000 trailer. I looked that up. That looks familiar. For the military. Oh, that's cool looking, and it's gonna be carrying an Abram. What is that in, Al? That sounds amazing. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that too, Phoenix. Real life hobby going on this year, and I think, don't get me wrong, I think everyone having real life stuff going on to so that the hobby doesn't 35th scale. That sounds awesome, Al. And a lot of photo etch. I know you can get so much really high detail with photo etch, so I'm looking forward to see how that one goes for you. Yeah, it sounds just crazy good. So yeah, that's a good thing. Having a plan. That's a big thing of this year is, to plan things out, plan your projects, plan your hobby time, and put things together. All right, Dark Tidings. Thanks so much for dropping by. Absolutely, and we're here every Tuesday, so I look forward to seeing you again. Take care, and thanks for coming by. Shout out. Okay, cool. I'll pop out there and get some pics of that. That looks pretty cool. I want to see a look at that because you know how I feel about your work. You do such amazing work. If anybody's not familiar with Al Drake, I'll get some links to his stuff up there. He does such incredible work. Just amazing detailed stuff, especially his military stuff. It's just psycho crazy good stuff. I have one model that he did for me. I was honored that my brother did for me the vehicle I drove in the military. I've got it up on my shelf on display in my living room because I'm just so proud of how beautiful that model came out. I pray that someday I can stand in his shadow because his stuff is so gorgeous. But we're gonna quick give a shout out to all my guys here on Patreon, because I want to thank all you guys and everything you do for me, and that support, that monthly support, all my really great patrons out there that are supporting me monthly, and just that little bit of money here and there, what it does, lets me get extra supplies, like some extra, it lets me stretch out what I've got going on, and I really appreciate that support. It makes me really feel like what I'm supplying for you guys and what I'm hopefully giving you guys is worthy and entertaining. So if you aren't a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and hit that up arrow. That really helps me out. And if you haven't rung that bell so you know when we have this crazy stuff going on. And I want to give a quick shout out to all my lovely patrons. So I want to start off with my Battle Brother level patrons. And these guys are giving me $1 a month, and even at $1 a month, that is still an incredible amount of support. It's just your way of telling me that, hey, you know what, you provide good stuff, and I'm very thankful for that. So for my buddies, Insane in the Membrane, Zane the Inquisitor Zane, the man that makes Commodore insane, I want to give him a big shout out. And secondly, to my buddy there, that Gaslands playing custom Army Colors Dark Angels painting, trash terrain making, great content making. If you're not a subscriber, go out to my buddy Mini War Mutt. Check out his channel, subscribe, check out his stuff, check out his content. He really brings it hard. So give him some support, and thank you for that $1 patron every month. Now I have my battle leader tier, and these guys give me $3 a month. And $3 doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a bottle of P3 paint. That's a bottle of Vallejo paint. So I mean, that's awesome. And so I want to give out. I want to give some shout outs there. I'm going to give a shout out to my man, my brother, my fellow wolf brother, Hellchild. Hellworks by Hellchild. Buddy Tom, thank you so much. I appreciate that support. Right here in the chat here, Spinilius, the man that tells people to get off his lawn, the first of my 2 Necron supporters, my buddy Greg Tesher. Now I have my second, the other get off my lawn, old man telling me more about 3D printing and showing me about 3D sculpting, just a regular source of knowledge and wisdom, my guy Heinrich Botha. Now, I also have my other wolf brother, my wolf brother from another mother, a man that is very near and dear to my heart, and I give him a lot of credit for helping support me and bring the visual of my channel up. So I want to say thank you so much to Wolf Brother Mythos. Such a great guy. I also have, lastly, a guy we don't hear from too much, but when we do, we love to hear from him because he's so much fun and such a great insight on the game and a great insight on just being a guy doing this hobby for all the fun in the world. My guy, Joe Bookish. Thank you so much, Bookman. Appreciate you. Now, lastly, I have my 3 Warlord tier patrons. Now, these 3 people give me $10 a month, and they are part of a drawing. James Meeks won my last drawing. So Smash Captain James Meeks won our last drawing, and I'm getting him a old school 1990s metal Wolf Lord and Terminator armor. I'm sending it out to him as a thank you for just being our patron for a couple of months here. I just appreciate that so much. I also have the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented, the amazing Flight of the Phoenix. Wonderful, talented woman. I'm glad to have her in my life. She is just a joy to be around. Brings joy to my heart. And lastly, we have the man that brings the banhammer. The man that brings the pain. The man that we all exist to make crazy. And that's my guy. My other brother from another mother. The guy that I can lean on, and he just kind of shrugs and goes, all right, that's fine. And that's my guy, the Commodore, coming in from High Arwen. I want to thank all you so much. Real quick shout out, quick going over what we got here. Redbeard Boss popped in here. My guy, Redbeard Boss. Man, my wife is so happy with those brushes. She got the full set of the brushes. She got those that little gift you threw in for her. Plus, she's got those dry brushes. If you are not familiar with Redbeard Boss, go out to his YouTube channel. He has some stuff about it. He also has on eBay a channel. Redbeard, you need to get me a link to that so I can get that sent out there. So I can send people to buy your stuff because your stuff is awesome. Your brushes are great. I don't use them because they're too good for me. I suck. I don't want to ruin really good brushes. But my wife, who you guys know is a really great painter, she loves them to death. So you guys are awesome. And that's the thing. I want to thank all of you for all the support you guys have given me in 2020. In a single year that was probably one of the worst years in most people's near memory, my channel doubled in size. My support doubled in size. My views jumped through the roof. I met and I've got to know a lot of really good people. I've been part of a couple of really big Kickstarters, done some really cool stuff. Got to build and paint and unbox some really awesome minis. I've been in a lot of challenges. I've painted a lot more minis than I thought I could physically do in a year. I mean, the number of people I have met and gotten to know better, people like Redbeard Boss, people like Mini Warmont, people like Mythos and Freak, guys I know I've met before but got to know better. And then people I've just gotten to know recently and gotten to know much better, like Kaiju Shorts, like Weather Pig, people from all over the country and all over the world, Heinrich Baffa. You guys, I mean, all of you, even those who are local to me. I mean, Ben and Tina, just two really great anchors here in our Milwaukee area here. Greg and Tyzo, a couple of newcomers who are also just really great additions to the local community here. And this is what I love to see. And this is what I love to see, the kind of people that I want to surround myself with, people that are positive, people, yeah, they're lame. Well, that's why they use crutches to make up for it, Ben, because I'm going to tell you, and I say it here publicly, and I say it here anytime, because I do not hide the love. Ben, I love you. Tina, I love you. Two of you guys, I love all you guys that show up here, but I really do. I mean, I make it a point that I look at my life, and I look at the negativity I used to surround myself with, and I refuse to be part of that ever again. And so I've surrounded myself with positive people. And what I have found is the more positive people that I surround myself, the more positive and wonderful people I'm attracted into and are attracted to this great, great community that we are building. I want to give a big shout out to Nick at IDIC Beer, Necrons and More, a guy who invited me into this community just over a year and a half ago. And he is really, just by being the example, he has built up a great community and let me meet and get to know some really great people. And that's what I'm really thankful for. And what I want to keep going. I want to push into 2021 being positive, being forward positive and forward moving and forward thinking. So I want to thank all of you again for coming tonight, all my patrons, all my subscribers, and all you people that come here and do part of crazy conversations. Thank you so much. We do have a Discord. We do have Instagram. I'm going to put links in all below. Link on social media, guys. We all do this stuff. I've thought about even doing a Facebook page specifically for this stuff, and I realized, no, that's dumb. I don't need to do that. I'm not that big. I'm not that important. I'm not that guy. I got 600 plus subscribers, and that's all right. I just like to be able to talk with you guys. So thank you so much. Remember, epic your board. Epic your game. Epic your life. And epic your life by being positive and continue the positivity. Pass on that positiveness. Share that positive. Be the change and the positivity you want to see in the world. Thank you so much. Bless you all for the new year. And most of all, wash your damn hands and wear your damn masks. Let's get this COVID thing kicked and get back our lives to normal. Let's take back our hobby. Thank you so much. I love you all, guys. And we will see you in 2021.